Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got a great tea for you guys today. I keep coming this close to saying blend. I have to break that habit. I've got a great tea for you guys tonight, and I'm really excited because it's right outside is the type of weather that this tea is for. Let me mute my computer real quick because that is going to be annoying. Why is this thing not coming up? There we go. I'm from the Mangalam Estate, which is one of Tilula's teas. And let me tell you, this thing smells really bold. A treat today because this is the kind of tea that really gets me excited. It tends to have that really deep, earthy flavor that I just love to have on cold nights, and tonight is a really cold night. So, hey Snail, welcome. Tonight's gonna be a very cold night. So I'm looking forward to drinking this and getting my body temperature up. So that being said, let's take a look at what the tea looks like. Starting with the dry leaf, you can see right off the bat it's a very dark tea. And it smells really earthy. The tones are there. I'm gonna say, it's very deep and dark, very earthy. Oh man, this is the pinnacle scent of a tea. It's very earthy and dark, almost chocolatey. Yeah, that is some good stuff. So if we take a look at the leaf itself, the reason why it's called tippy is because of this. If I could just pull it out. There we go. You know what? Let me get two of them to compare. Okay, so we take a look at the leaf, and you'll see that, hey Ma, welcome. You'll see that one is significantly lighter than the other. Let me see if I can yeah. You look against it, and it's more profound. I'm using a little bit of dog medicine to show it up. But you can see there's a huge difference between the light and the dark. The light one is the tip, and that's what gives it the name a tippy Assam. It's from Assam, India. But normally, Assam is known for its CTC, which is the cut, tear, curl, and they use a full leaf and they cut it into smaller pieces, and then they curl the little pieces into the little pellets. So that's why when I've done CTC in the past, it gives it that texture. This is just a leaf that has been cut, but it hasn't been curled. It's been twisted. So it's a different kind of motion, and then when it opens up bigger than what you'd get as a CTC. So let me just open up one here. You can tell right away the size difference. It's opened up, and it's going to be about double the size of what you had before. So we take a look at that, and it's pretty big. Now you're gonna get a lighter coloration in the leaf after it's opened up, so you can see the difference pretty much clear as day. That the dry leaf and the wet leaf are very different in color. It's almost a light brown, kind of borderline orange for the wet leaf, and the dry leaf is going to be like a really deep, dark black tea. So you can tell the difference right then and there. Hey, Mickadoodles, welcome. So we have our brew here, and look at that, it's almost pitch black. It's usually I get at least a little bit of red, but there's really no coloration in here If there is, it's very, very deep. All I can see is like super dark brown. I'm not getting much color of anything else. Even when I put it up against the light, I'm seeing maybe purple at best. Are you sure you brewed the? Are you sure you brewed the tea? What do you mean? Like, there's only one tea that I don't understand what you're trying to say. Waiting for that response so I know what I'm answering. The last time it was dark, you were drinking iron? Oh, you mean the thing? No. This is definitely the black tea. This one doesn't have that little packet, and none of it was in. This is all loose leaf. None of it was in tea bags. So yeah, I'm pretty positive I'm drinking the right tea. So let's go ahead and take our first sip. Oh wow, that is bold and quite bitter. Ooh. Ooh yeah, the astringency on this is high. Ooh boy. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if I brewed it wrong. Let me see. Oh yeah. I should have done it for 3 minutes, but I did it for 5. Which, I mean, usually you're supposed to do it for a good 5. So I did oversteep this tea. And let me tell you, right off the bat, it hits. It hits hard. This is definitely the kind of tea that, if you don't have that resistance to astringency, it's biting. This tea is very, like, I can tell that I did it by mistake. I really should have read the instructions first. This is what happens when you think you know everything. When you think you know everything about tea. I didn't examine the leaf strong enough. Now, as you notice, the leaf is very, very thin and stringy, and that should have been my first guess. Is to notice that it was close to a. It's not your typical Assam. It's close to what's it oh man, what is the name of that black tea? The Chinese black tea. Keeman. It's really close to a Keeman. It's not as long as a Keeman, but it is that thin shape. So I should have paid attention to that. Instead, I kind of just did it automatically, and yeah, I'm paying for it. I'm definitely paying for it now. The astringency is very strong, very biting, and it's hitting right in the back of the throat, which is the worst place for astringency, in my opinion, because it hits that gag reflex, and you're like, kind of a thing. Generally, I would recommend sugar and milk and something like that, to cut that down. But I don't like sweetening tea on the stream unless, it comes up in conversation, something like that, which, technically it did, but I don't want to wimp out on it, like this is my mistake, and, drinking it is my atonement to myself. But really, the undertones are not that bad. I'm getting like a nice little chocolatey undertones of it. What's the little notes of chocolate? The problem is it stays for like just a couple seconds and then the bite happens. So I would recommend that if you do, what was this? If you do drink this tea, be careful because it has potential to bite. I would actually recommend maybe doing it for 2 minutes instead of 3. 3 minutes you'll be on the verge of getting to that bitterness. So as what happened last time, when it cooled down, the bitterness got really strong. This one would have had the same effect. The only problem is that I got the bitterness out a little bit early. So yeah, I screwed up there. If it cools down, well, when it cools down, I'm not sure if the bitterness will be more intense because of it. But we will see because I'm planning on drinking this anyway. It's a good, excuse me. It's a good experiment to do sometimes. This is what they call cupping, which is different from tasting. We all make mistakes. Oh, tea guru. I wish I was a tea guru, but a tea guru would never make that kind of a mistake. So, I'm only human, right? Hi everyone. Happy belated gobble gobble. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Ooh. What was I saying? Oh yeah. That this is what's called cupping. And what you do with cupping is you purposefully oversteep the tea just to see how bad it could get. And when you do that the right way, you see how strong the bitterness is, and whether or not you think it would be too bitter for the people in your circle, basically. So bitterness does not sell very well in America, but when you go into like India and Asia, Japan, China, certain parts really relish that bitterness, and that's the kind of tea that they look for purposefully. I was having a conversation with somebody a couple weeks ago, and they said that their Asian friend had told them to, once they steep the tea bag, to squeeze it. And I was like, what? Why would they say that? Like that would make the tea bitter. And the guy goes, yeah, that's what he wanted. He loves the bitterness. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. But like, you don't want to tell other people that that's the correct way to do it, because then you turn people off because they think tea is supposed to be that bitter. But it's not. It's very subjective. It's very much like, I like bitterness, I'm going to make it as bitter as possible. Or I like sweet, so I'm going to understeep it as much as possible. I'm going to put in milk and sugar and blah, blah, blah. Everybody does something different with their tea, according to their tastes. So turning this mistake into a lesson, this could have worked out if I'm trying to sell bitter tea to an audience that likes it. It can get a little bit fishy sometimes when you're walking that line between bold and bitter. But once you find that balance, you're golden. Ooh, I need to blow my nose. I'm getting that allergy season again. I hate when that happens. And I don't know if it's like the bitterness that starts to drain my sinuses, or if it's like just the heat. But yeah, like it's really coming down. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. It's a little bit gross. You guys didn't need to hear that, but whatever. We're all family here, right? So now the astringency is getting quite a bit stronger. And as I swallow, it's going deeper and deeper down my throat. It's a little bit like, it's a little bit soapy. And it's tough to bear, to be honest. I really think that drinking this tea serves as a really effective lesson, because this is not the kind of mistake you make twice, you know. Although I have done it on occasion, now that I know how to identify it, this is definitely a very, very strong, bold bitterness. If you've ever had like super, super dark chocolate, I think it was like what in the 90s something % cacao, and you get that bitterness that hasn't been sweetened, that's what it tastes like. And right now, I'm a little bit sorry for this, but I got to do the Thomas taste, and this is not going to be, it's not going to be pleasant for me. But here we go. Okay, right now, the bitterness starts at the tip of my tongue and goes all the way back down my throat. So holding on to it, my palate really absorbed all of that. Ooh. And it's strong. Now, don't let my experience sway you from the tea. I'm taking full responsibility for messing it up. And I still wouldn't give it like a bad review, because, you know, one, I know it's my fault, and two, I know what to expect from an Assam, and this is exactly what to expect from an Assam. You're going to get that astringency no matter what. It's just a matter of the intensity, and the fact that I released it hard and early is a testament to what it would have been had I been more gentle with it. So that being said, I still recommend trying this tea, but being careful with it. It's definitely, I would say, it's got potential to be a good tea had I not screwed it up. So that being said, I'm really thoroughly enjoying the forefront of the flavor, the couple of seconds that you get before the bitterness kicks in, of what it should taste like. Oof. Yeah, it's a strong one. Was that put milk? I really should. Milk and sugar. Yeah, this is going to be one of those times where I'm going to pull the emergency cord. But yeah, like I'm saying, it's, I guess in this is going to sound like such a cop-out, but in the vein of experimentation, let's see if we can rescue it for my suffering palate. Let me go get some milk. Oof. Okay, there we go. Got some milk and sugar. Coming to the rescue, because, ooh boy, that, I need it. Let's do a little bit of, yeah, let's give it a good amount. guy never reads the instructions, thinks he knows everything. That's what happens, you know? There we go. So you can see right then and there, there's a huge difference between what it was and what it is now. Okay, that helped quite a bit. Of course, you know, like I had to go a little bit extreme on the sugar. But right now it's actually pretty decent. It tastes more like a dark hot chocolate. Even though I put so much milk and it looks light, it's still maintaining that earthy flavor to it. It's got that bite. It's definitely reduced the astringency. Made it more palatable. Yeah, I think I'll survive this time. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and open the floor for questions and comments and anything you want to talk about. Now's the time. I will, as I always do, answer Teresa's question first. What would I pair this with? It's a very, very hard black flavor. So I would go with very, very hard dinner. Like I would get like a steak for this, something a little bit charred. Maybe like a roasted chicken or a roasted duck. Something that has a nice bold flavor to go with it. Maybe something a little bit spicy. Get some jalapenos in there. Geez, what else? I can't think of any desserts that I would go with this. Excuse me. Oof. This is a tough one. Like, if I were to go with a dessert, I'd have to choose something super sweet, just to cut down on the bitterness of this current one. I would probably go with like a vanilla ice cream, like as sweet as you can get it. Yeah, I have no idea. I can't think of any foods right now that would go well with it. Yeah. I guess that's it. I'm totally brain farting on this one. So go ahead and throw me your questions if you have any. In the meantime, just a reminder: I do have my book out. I will be posting the link later on, probably tomorrow, separately as a promotion for Black Friday. I meant to do it today, but I just got way too busy, so I never quite got around to it. But I always encourage you, go ahead and place an order and read it, because I put my heart and soul into it, and I loved every minute of writing it. And it'll put a smile on your face, that's for sure, because it has some unexpected heartwarming moments. I surprised myself in a few of these, and reading it and coming down to tears in some places. It's definitely not a typical reaction to a comedy book, but I definitely recommend you guys read it if you buy it. I don't want you to read it. I don't want you to buy it and then just let it collect dust on the shelf. I highly encourage you guys to take a moment and just read a couple of them, because they're just pieces of me, and I love making people laugh. You guys know. So yeah, I definitely would recommend both drinking this tea and reading the book, even together. Doing them both it's a good way to pass an evening. So that being said, I'll go ahead and close things out. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. This has been a very delicious tea despite my mistake. And I do recommend it. So I will post the link in the description. Hopefully you guys will give it a chance. And until next time, have a great night, a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye!